and welcome to Oakley's training session. Oakley is so smart. She loves to train. I feel like we've taught her a lot of stuff in a very short amount of time, so it's all really new. So I really want you guys to be super consistent this week about practicing with her. Kind of, you want to like seal the deal on the training. So practice with her every day. It can be little short lessons. It doesn't have to be, a 30-minute lesson or anything. But doing several short lessons throughout the day will be great. In general, if she wants something, ask her to do something. So, before you pick her up, have her sit. Before you throw a toy, do a touch, or watch me. We just call it the nothing in life is free plan, okay? So she has to do something to get something. Good girl, she's so focused. Another thing I like to really pay attention to with any of my dogs is, right now she's sitting there, she's looking at me, she's watching me. Oh, she's gonna lay down too, I like that. She's offering me very sweet, calm, nice behavior. I could take that for granted and be like, oh, she's being good. But I really want to make a point to acknowledge that. So if she sits, if she lays down, if she's being sweet, to treat her, to pat her, to tell her what a good girl she is, and really acknowledge when she offers me nice behavior, because she could completely be bouncing up and down and jumping, which she's an incredible jumper. So it's kind of always, battling her natural happiness and bounciness. I don't want to completely squash that, but I also don't want her jumping all over us. So just pay attention to when she's being good. Let her know that you see it, reward it, praise it, play with her. That way she doesn't feel like she has to bark at you to get your attention or pull your pant legs or do, any little puppy behavior that we might not like. Girl. So I'm just going to reward her for her doing this. She saw me put my treat pouch on, and so I think she's like, oh, I know that means the opportunity is higher, that I will reward her right now, so that is fine. Okay, so when we're training, you want to make sure to train in multiple locations, so not just in your living room. Practice on walks, practice in the backyard, practice, on a carpet and a wood floor and a tile floor, so that she knows, oh, okay, it's the same behaviors no matter what is going on in the environment. What she's doing is the same. So dogs don't always generalize really well. So that means if you only practice in your living room, you're gonna get a really good living room dog and it might fall apart other places. So as you're working with her, practice in lots of locations. So she will be a good dog anywhere, anytime, and she can be this awesome dog that you can take to restaurants with you, take on vacation with you, whatever you might want. Are you being so good? She's being super calm. She was just bouncing off the walls. I do want to show you, I've been feeding her out of food devices, the Tricky Treat Ball one, the Snoop, those are kind of written in your homework. This is called the Kong Wobbler. I can't remember if we used it before, but this is some of her dinner for tonight. And I would just put her dinner in this. I might give it in the crate or out. But if I put that down, she can come over and she just kind of knocks it around. And it's a way for her to have mental stimulation, physical, so it's working her brain, it's working her body. And it makes dinner last a little bit longer, right? Because she has to work harder for it. So feeding out of these devices are great. It's just easy stuff that you can be doing. And I'm going to take that from you. I'll give her the rest after we're done. Okay, so last thing about training. When you're training, you can absolutely use her dog food. So in my treat pouch, I have most of her dinner in here. Even those teeny tiny treats that you guys brought, I'm squishing them into even smaller pieces. So that way I can feel like I can reward fairly frequently, but I'm not filling her up. Or if I am filling her up, it's with her own dog food. So she's like, oh, I'm gonna get that. Good. Good girl. When I'm training and when I'm teaching her the cues, especially if it's a new cue, I wanna say the word first. So once she knows it, right, I say word, so I would say sit, give the hand cue, If it's a new cue, I'm going to say yes, and then I will treat lastly. So it would just look like this. I'm going to do touch with her because that's one of our newest ones. So touch. Yes. Okay, so I said the word touch, and then I offered the hand cue. Whenever she finally made contact with my palm, I marked it. So I said yes, that's my verbal marker. And then I treated her. So we'll do that one more time. Touch. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. If she's really good at a behavior like sit, I don't need to say yes every time. I don't need to treat every time. I can kind of pick and choose when I want to reward. The yes and the marking is when behaviors are fairly new, so you'll see me throwing that out there. Good girl. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start with some easy things like the watch me. Watch me's eye contact. If she's looking at me, she's thinking about me, so I'm gonna move around. Good girl. See if I can get her eyes off of me. She's in training mode right now. So. Watch me. Yes. So she's sitting, but she does not have to be sitting on the watch me. I'll show you from when she's already sitting. Watch me. Might move, do a little moving. So it's fist to chin. That's our hand cue. Good girl. Good. Touch. Yes. Good girl. So touch. I put my palm out, and then I look at my palm, and I'm looking for her to do a nose bump. Watch me. You don't have to move, but I'm just doing it so that she knows it's different than sit. Good girl. Good girl. And I'm going to do the touch just to kind of pull her out of it. Touch. Oh, that was a down. That was a down. So we've been working hard on down. I'm not going to get upset with her. I'm just going to ask again. Touch. Yes. You know, it's a lot of these cues look a lot the same. And she's learned them in a short amount of time, so she'll get better. Okay? Okay. All right. So then we have sit. Good girl. So sit, I've been doing palm up. Good girl. Good girl. Now, if I say good girl, that's a praise word. If I say yes, I'm going to give a treat. My yes is promising a treat. So if you say yes, give a treat. All right? If you don't want to treat the behavior, like the sit, I don't necessarily want to treat it every time. I can just say good girl. Oakley, sit. Or is your friend crying? Watch me. Down. So now, yes. Right now, I'm having to lean over a lot for down, right? I'm coming right here. My goal as she's getting older and better would be to stand up straight, say down, boom. And this would be my cue. But she's still learning it, so I'm leaning over. But just be aware of that as you work with her. Start to bring your hand a little bit higher, right? I'm gonna do another one, and I'm gonna try to start with my hand high and see if she'll get it. And if she doesn't, then I'll just go lower, just so you can kind of see how to work with her. Oakley. Good girl. Good girl. Nice. Oakley. Down. So I'm just giving her a second to think about it. She's like, she's not walking away. So I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to go just a little bit lower. Right, so she's not totally getting it just by the verbal or just by my cue here. Oakley, watch me. Down. Yes. Good girl. I don't know if you can hear the other puppy crying. I put the other puppy in her crate so we could do the video. She sounds so sad. Yes. Good girl. Okay. One last one. Good. Good girl. Down. Yes, that was really nice. Good. When I'm treating her, I could treat at her mouth, or I could, put it on the floor. And then your sit, your down, the stand, all these behaviors, we can immediately work on duration. So I did not ask for a stay, but she's holding it. So I'm just going to keep rewarding her for duration, for not just getting in the behavior and popping right back up. Good Good girl. Good. All right. And the last behavior I want to add on here is stand. Okay, so this is our cue for stand, is a palm up. I'm going to come down closer to her nose. Let's see. Oakley, stand. Yes. So I'm going to yes right when her little hips go up. So it stands, that's just what it is, standing up on all fours. Good. Oh, you know, are you worried about your buddy? Watch me. Stand. Yes. So now if she's sad, I'm going to go ahead and pull her up and reward her in that standing position. Down. Watch me. Oakley, stand. Yes. Right there. So I'm going to pull her up. So that was still a tough one, but that's okay. Just keep working with her. But the stand is nice to throw in there so that sometimes it's sit to stand or stand to down or down to stand, right? So you can mix it up. So we have watch me, sit, down. You can also look down and stand, okay? Stand, but for her, I'm going to bring it right there. Good girl. She's a good girl. Okay, and touch.